Hi, everybody. Welcome. Okay, so this is my Business Tarot Tuesday. I do this every week at 6 o'clock. Let me fix my little microphone setup right here. There. Might be a little bit easier for you to hear me. Okay. Hopefully my volume's good. Okay, so what we're doing tonight is actually money flow mini readings. So if you want to get a reading this evening, just start dropping your requests, your desire for a reading in the comments. And I have Solange who helps me out. She's going to give you a number, and we kind of we jump around a little bit. So we are going to go in the order that I feel called to. So as of right now, hey, Emily, if you're like one of the first people, then you guys almost always will end up getting a reading. But instead of going in like consecutive number order, once we start getting going here, then I'll jump around a little bit, and Solange just helps me out with numbers. So let's have this ready. Okay, so for numbers, hi Vanessa. But yes, so I have actually 5 different aspects. I made a special little card spread for tonight. And so I'm just going to pick one of the 5 based on when your reading is, and we'll read one of the 5. And so these are the things that I've created for the different aspects. And my request is that you don't request anything specific because it's a mini reading. So we're just going to flow through it. Sometimes I know we want to hear like specific things, but for tonight, I'm just going to try it in this way, and I'm going to see how it feels, and we're going to roll with it. So you might hear about sources of income. So if we pull a card on that for you, it might be just what I'm seeing in terms of what's lining up, in terms of what's bringing money in, and any information that we might gather about that. We might look at what's impacting the flow of money, what the energy around the flow of it looks like. Is there anything upcoming that we might want to know about? We may look at how to further open up the channels so that money can just kind of keep flowing to you more freely. We may look at what your money message is, or we might look at what outside things might be affecting your money situation, your money flow. So I'll choose one of the 5 for you when your turn comes around. Solange is going to start giving some numbers to you guys, and then we'll start to dive in. I will say that again, I'll pick one of those different 5 aspects for you, and I'll sort of flow through them. And we're just going to assume that whatever one you get paired up with, whatever one of those little 5 things that I read around money flow, it'll be perfect for you. We're intending that together. So if you're new here, oh, hey, Lexi. Hi. How are you? If you're new here, say hello. Let me know who you are. I see a lot of familiar faces, some new faces so far. So your readings are... Okay, so I'm going to just go with Emily first, and then number 1, and then Solange will give everyone else who wants a reading a number. So Emily. Okay, I'm going to turn this fan down a little bit. It's a little bit warm in here, so I'm going to keep the fan on. So Emily, I'm going to look at sources of income for you, okay? Sources of income. I don't know why. I feel like I always get throat chakra with you, Emily, but 7 of Earth, it's talking about seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, and a necessary worry. When your energy came in, it's sort of like I did feel, it's sort of like the energy of like a voice that feels tired, like it's been talking about a lot of things, and it sort of just feels like tired, like it needs a little break, like. And so my sense is that there's been things that have been on your mind relating to this temporary pause, and you've been talking about it to a lot of different people. Like this card coming in, this Seven of Earth, which does have to do a lot with money and manifestation and career and things that are brought in from the earth plane or to the earth plane. It's really showing me that there's things that you've done in the past that will start to pop up. And the more that I'm seeing that you can just be really aligned and in a place of acceptance and allowing. I can't really see, but I just have my hands like open, like, yes, I will receive, thank you. The more that you can stay in that place, I see the more fruitful this season is. We are coming into autumn, so it also is very much a time of harvest. So I just feel like a lot of the work, a lot of the effort has already been put in terms of how I see your money sources being set up. And it seems like you're entering into this phase of sort of like just accepting and being like, oh, thank you. Yes. Like, but you don't need to talk about it so much. Like if you're going to talk about it, you can really just like speak into existence what you really want to happen, because I don't want you talking about the worry. So no more of that. Okay. Okay. So it looks like we're up to number 3. And then I know we have somebody from the group. So Solange, are we up to number 3 as of right now?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, we have until number 4. Sorry, Tisha, I was answering her, but I'm not really sure if she got it already. So we have 4. Up to number 4.
Okay. Let's go with 3, and then I'll probably be doing the 6:15 one next. Okay. So 3 is Lexi?
3 is Lexi. Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna find Lexi's name. Hi, Lexi. Lexi, are you watching still? I always like to check in to make sure that you guys are still here, that you're watching, so I know that we can have like a little bit of interaction. Hi, Lexi. How are you, girl? I've missed you. I haven't talked to you in so long. So Lexi. Okay. And then at 6:15, I know that we have a few people that in my group, How to Make Money Being Magical. You can join us on Facebook if you'd like. We do some reservations on a weekly basis. I open up a handful of spots for people to get their mini reading on a reserved basis. So we're going to do that at 6:15 my time, 6:15 Pacific. Okay. So we're going to look at what might be impacting flow. Might be positive or negative. So I'm going to tune into you. Okay, Lexi? Okay. So I feel a big rush of emotions come in, and they're talking about some like tension and some pain. They did take me to my body, so I don't know if there's been something going on like physically with your body at all that might be impacting it, but they did bring me those words, and then a big rush of emotion came right behind it in terms of it felt kind of like a bit of sad or disheartened. So I haven't been in touch with you in recent months, or I haven't seen you on here, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I do feel like they're wanting to bring you a lot of hope through right now. This Strength card is coming through, and it's Archangel Ariel. It's talking about great inner strength, releasing harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. And so I'm really seeing that being for you, Lexi. Like I feel like there's so much that's been going on in terms of what could potentially impact your flow. And it does feel like some of it I'm feeling in my physical body, and other things I'm feeling as sort of like outside things and other energies. But this is really a card of like perseverance and staying with it, because I'm getting a lot of tingles right now. Everything that they're showing me, it just really feels like you are doing the right things. You are showing up, and that there's just some different, they're talking about it as like lessons, but in the way of like wisdom gaining lessons that are going on for you right now. But I know it's felt really harsh, but like the way that they're showing it to me is like it has to do with your soul growth and soul development to get you ready for this next cycle. So I just really want you, and does this make sense for you, Lexi? Like, I just want you to know that like they are wanting to acknowledge like how you've been walking through this period of time, and know that even though it might not be sort of flowing in freely or with ease right now, that like I see them just really acknowledging how you're showing up for yourself right now. Okay. But yeah, let me know how that, it makes sense. Okay. Good. Thanks, Lexi. So I am going to go to one more person before we do our, well, I'll line up who's next, and then we'll go to our 6:15, which I believe is Terry. So Terry, I believe, is 6:15. And if you guys are new to me, by the way, I'm Ashley Bradley. I'm an intuitive business coach. So I do the intuitive thing like this, where I actually do readings on business topics. I am a coach, and I work with a variety of different coaches and spiritual business owners. Hi, Terry. And one of my specialties is actually Upwork, helping people find clients on Upwork, which I'm excited that my course, Manifesting Through Upwork, I'm like finally ready to say the date of when it's coming out, because I kind of have, I get nervous that like I'm going to be doing all-nighters because I have 2 little ones. And I feel like it's big for me to even be saying it. But 10/10, on 10/10, I'm finally actually releasing my first course, Manifesting Through Upwork, where I teach you everything I know. I've done 6 figures on the site, and I believe that we can manifest through these different sources. So I'm bringing you a very blended, balanced knowledge of how I did that, how I find clients on there. And so, yes. Okay, so Terry, what are we looking at for you? We're going to look at how to further open up your money channels, your abundance channels. Okay, Terry. Okay, just getting tuned in. Okay. So what they were showing me as I was pulling the card is like this sense of feeling kind of, it's split in 2. So it could be either showing like what's falling away and what's coming, or like 2 different kind of like distinct like sides of your business. And then there's some kind of distraction but it feels like it's a distraction that is coming somewhat regularly. So I want to go to the card and just see what else is there. So this 2 of Fire card is coming in. It's talking about that you're coming into your own, new partnerships or contracts, and continuing to move forward. Okay. So if we're looking at how to further open up your money channels, there's a lot of it's sort of like a sacred masculine energy that I'm seeing coming through in this card. It feels like it's, they're calling it the taming of the masculine. And so a lot of our business conditioning has been very masculine, very kind of like, go out and get it. Let's go. Let's hustle. And I feel like I see the energy of these cards being very powerful and very present, and the masculine still being there, but the kind of taming and toning down of the masculine, and it's then allowing that feminine to step up and take her proper seat at the table here in business. And so to open up your flow more, I want you to notice when that masculine energy that I was emulating, like, let's get it, let's go, let's do this, let's hustle. When it shows up, it doesn't feel like it's all the time by any means, but it does feel like there's times where that sinks in, or when you go on a train of thought that it has to be that way. And so that's where I'm really seeing the flow open up more. But this is a good card. Like when we're talking about money, you've come into your own, new partnerships or contracts, continuing to move forward. It feels like a lot more is coming. So be ready to receive as well, because looking at opening the channels more, seems like there's been a lot, almost like it's kind of stacked up, kind of like lined up, waiting to come to you, and it's sort of like been waiting for the right time. And so I feel like it's sort of a patience in the next few months, and that things do, I'm feeling, especially near like the end of the year, that there's something big that happens that kind of clicks in with you, and a lot more starts flowing in. So, okay. So thanks, Terry. So I'm going to see, we have, so I want to go to number 2. Who's number 2?
Great. So number 2 is Vanessa. We have 2 Vanessas. This one is Vanessa Grace.
Vanessa Grace. Okay. And then how many numbers are we up to now?
We are up to 7.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Terry. Vanessa Grace. Okay. So let me. Vanessa. Are you there, Vanessa? So Terry, you were saying that you can get into a more driven situation. Would love to surrender and relax more, so it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, Terry, notice when things do come in. Like, I just want you to notice like what you were doing that day. When the opportunities come, because there's going to be some insight for you there. Okay, Vanessa. Hi. Okay. So we're going to look at for you anything around a money message, okay? Okay. I love like when I'm feeling something and then I pull a card and it like totally tied in, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I just love it. I felt like I was holding my breath, and I was thinking, wow, it just feels like I just want to like breathe or take like really deep inhales. And it was that sense of holding my breath. And this release card came. So while initially my mind might be like, I don't know what that means. I don't know if I should, I don't know. I feel like the card comes in to school me and be like, deliver the message. You don't have to understand it, just deliver what you're getting. And so this card, it's Archangel Azrael. It's talking about the end of a phase or situation, a spiritual transformation, and taking time to move on. So there's a big completion cycle that's happening astrologically right now. And a lot of it actually does have to do with an upcoming 1010 portal. And it is about stepping into something new, but that also means that other things are completing and wrapping up. And so sometimes it can feel really uncomfortable when the new things haven't started sprouting up yet. And the old things are falling away, that it feels, sometimes it can feel like kind of like a state of limbo or being like, oh, what's going on here? But I'm seeing a lot of that coming in. Azrael, I feel like just recently has been coming around in readings a lot and is very much about, is related to like helping people through like grief or loss or even the ending of things. And so there's something coming in here around something that's ending, or it's like a drastically different phase, and one phase is coming to an end and another one is beginning. So right now it just feels like the message is about, it's about trust, and it's about opening your eyes to the signs. It's about seeing that they're giving you signs all the time, telling you what to do and that it is going to be okay, and to actually start trusting them, because they're saying that you do get the signs, but that you kind of, sometimes when it's for you, you kind of like will brush it off a little bit, and you'll still not really, it feels like kind of sink into that place of knowing. But I just want you to look at this beautiful image here and see all those beautiful roses that Azrael is walking into. There's a lot of beauty and abundance in front of you, and you can't see it yet. I feel like you know that it's there, but I feel like there's times where you're slipping in and out of that place of knowing and trusting. And so really right now they're showing me that it's just about surrendering to the place that you're in, being there, and noticing what comes in around this ending, or this sort of wrapping up of a phase. Just be there for a few days, and it's not going to hinder. I feel like sometimes you just want to go and sort of get on to the next thing. It's not going to hinder any of that. It's not going to mess up any of that. That's already good. That's already coming. So that's what I'm getting for you. I'd love to know if that's making sense. That makes sense for you. Okay. So I do know we have a 6:30. So Solange, I know we were at 7. I think we've done 1 through 3, right? And we're kind of jumping around.
Okay. Yes, and we have 2 more, 8 and 9.
Okay.
And then at 6:30, Jamie. She's already booked.
I want to go to number 5. Who's 5?
It's Faye. It's on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm not really sure if I'm saying the name right.
Okay. Okay. Number 5, Faye, if you can hop in so you can see you here. We just kind of jump around, guys, with the numbers so that Spirit can have. I saw you saying about something explaining. I'm not sure what you, but Faye, are you here? Are you still here, Faye? And then Jamie will do yours at 6:30. By the way, if anyone wants to join me live, Solange does have a link that can kind of just jump you ahead of the line. So that will allow you to just hop on with me. You can do audio or audio and video. So if anyone really wants to make sure that they like get their turn, join me live. I just like love being able to like talk to you and feel like someone's talking back to me, and we'll have fun. We'll have a lot of fun. Faye, are you here? Okay. So don't, Faye, check back in. Let's go to number 7. Who's number 7?
Okay, number 7 is Vanessa Kalimat.
Okay, and then we'll do 4 after the, who's number 4? We'll do 4 after Jamie.
Keisha.
Okay. Okay, so Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. Are you here, Vanessa? Okay. So Vanessa, check in with me when you're here. Jamie will do you at 6:30, and then we'll go to Keisha. So what we're looking at for you is what we're pulling in, since Vanessa, there's some themes around tonight, is anything that might be like an outside thing that actually might be affecting the flow of business. It's interesting, like the energy starts to come in as soon as I start shuffling the cards, and it starts to kind of just tell me based on what's happening over here. Oh, sorry, Solange. It starts to tell me what's going on. It's as if right now, like, it feels like there's a lot of effort. It doesn't feel like it's in the place of like ease or flow yet, but it feels like there's like the energy that I'm feeling with it is like a lot around like precision and kind of planning and being very strategic. Like it feels like very kind of structured kind of energy that I'm feeling around the business. And it's interesting because this Justice card came in. This Justice card came in, and it's almost as if like with this kind of sword being raised, that it feels almost like an energy of a bit of kind of a fight. There hasn't, I feel like, been a relaxing into it as of yet. It is talking about fair and just decisions, doing what you know is right, and standing up for your beliefs. There's been a tug of war, it seems. I'm trying to feel like how to read this energy, because it almost feels like there's certain things that might be being held back, which is a little surprising because I feel like you, what I know of you, that you're a very open person. But I'm just going to deliver what I'm feeling, because it almost feels like that feeling of wanting to say something, but not that feeling of needing to express something that's been on your mind for a while, but that you've kind of decided for different reasons that also you're like, yes, it totally makes sense, I'm not going to say anything. There's a lot of that energy, and I feel like some of that is influencing you, because we're pulling this in terms of things that are other things outside of your business. It makes me feel like this is a not necessarily to do with your business, but it's something around you. It's a relationship, or whether that's with friends or with a client. And that feels like right now it's kind of like fucking with your flow a little bit, because it feels like a little bit of doesn't feel fun. It feels a little bit forced. So what I'm seeing here is that wherever is this making sense, by the way, Vanessa? Like, is there something that's popping in? If it doesn't come in now, then maybe think about it and see who it is, what relationship it might be, whether it's a friendship or a business relationship, whatever it might be. But there is definitely something that feels like you can't be in your flow with it, and it's sort of taking you out of really what you're meant to be feeling and doing. I feel like for you, there's in your natural state, there's more of like a dropping in, a more of a intuiting, more of a play, and there's something that feels like when you have to show up over here, that like you have to stay in this box, and that you're not really liking that anymore. You're not really liking it, or you're just like, this just doesn't feel like me. I just don't think this is doing it for me anymore. And that energy of staying there is the thing that I feel like is ready to be released, so that you can just really feel like you have more spaciousness, more room for self-expression. So I'll be curious to hear what makes sense with that. Yeah, so give me a little insight. Thanks, Vanessa. And so we're going to do Jamie. We are going to do, I want to say it's Keisha was next. Oh, Tisha. It's Tisha. We'll do Tisha next. So Tisha, You'll be next after Jamie. I heard Keisha, but then I saw your name and I realized it was Tisha. Okay. Jamie, we're going to look at sources of income for you, okay? Okay. Let me tune into you, Jamie. Oh, a card just jumped out, so that one's for you. Let me go pick it up off the ground. Okay, this 10 of air card. So first off, I felt like there was like a very like flowing energy that comes in, and we're looking at sources of income. But yeah, it felt very whimsy and very light. And then this 10 of air card is the one that just leaped out of the deck. It's talking about the end of a difficult situation, embracing the change, and expect things to get better now. And so 10 of air is very much about like the intellect, the mind, and the thinking. When I see this kind of whimsy, kind of flowing energy, it does feel like you were in a stage of the analyzing and the thinking and the processing and the trying to figure it out, but it feels like you're out of that now. It seems like you're in a different stage, and now you're in like the frolicking and discovering and finding and, oh, what is this? Like, that looks fun over there. Let's go do it. And so, yeah, like, so if we're looking at this in terms of like your sources of income, it feels like you have plugged into something that feels very abundant for you in a number of different ways, in terms of possibility, in terms of how excited you get and how connected you feel. And it really does feel like there's something that's shifted here with this. So yours is around, again, the sources of income, and it's talking about the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change, expect things to get better now. And I'm really tuning in primarily to the green. And so the heart chakra, like the more that you can be in what you're doing and lead from your heart chakra, and not from here as much, but from the heart chakra. And if, of course, you have to kind of pull that energy up to express it and to, but there's a sense of, for you do really have to always be connected to the heart, the purpose, the why. And so for things to remain really abundant and spacious in this place, like that's your key to it. Because if that ever gets kind of shut down, it's not going to feel the same. So just make sure you're really nurturing that you know that that's your place that you go back to. If it ever stops feeling like this, that you return there and you sort of reignite that flame, okay? Okay, so Tisha, okay. Okay. What we're going to look at for you is what might be impacting your money flow, okay? Impacting your money flow. And if you guys are just arriving, Solange helps me in the comments to give numbers, and we kind of bounce around based on who I'm drawn to. We let spirit get involved there. So make sure you check in with her. And there is a link that she could drop. I have a group called How to Make Money Being Magical. And I do always open up a certain number of those reserved spots, just like I did for Jamie just now. And so it's always easy if you want to get your reading and you ever want to like know exactly when your turn is. That's always a nice perk of that group. So join me in there. There's a lot of stuff for the spiritual freelancers and for coaches and people that are really stepping into a place of making money, being themselves and sharing their gifts. Okay, Tisha. So what I'll say first comes in with your energy, Tisha, is this place of, it feels like being pulled in a lot of directions. Like I feel like not even like a tug of war. It's kind of like in all of these different things, I just feel like almost like I'm swirling and sort of being like, oh, okay. And that like, I just want to acknowledge that and acknowledge the exhaustion of, are you a mom, Tisha? Because that would make sense for moms for sure. That's kind of what it feels like. Okay, so Tisha, what's impacting flow? I'm pull a card for you. I do feel like you have pretty good spirits though. Like I feel like when I feel your personality, it does feel like rather kind of like upbeat. I feel like a confidence and sort of like a kind of like a chipper sort of like energy to you. I'll be curious if that feels like you, if that feels like you too. The 9 of Earth card is coming in. So Earth cards do have a lot to do with manifestations and bringing things like into the physical reality. This one is saying enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone. Yeah, I always love when like we get that as moms, and it's just like, okay, like we're open to receiving that. Bring it on, spirit. Just help us out. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. Are you thinking about starting something or like going in a bigger way? Okay, so we're talking about what's impacting flow, and they're showing me that there's a decision around your business that you have been thinking about. And it's even funny how I start to see myself talking slowly or like not even finding the words, whereas before it was like flowing in very quickly. So they're showing me that it's creating a bit of like a slowdown, like with the flow, because you have to make that decision and that choice. And that once you decide what you're doing, and it does feel like this sense of sort of like stepping it up, of sort of being like, okay, it feels like I'm saying yes to something. It feels like I'm saying, okay, I'm ready to do this. That's sort of the sense that I'm feeling. But it is like things are going to shift a lot. And the time alone, I think that they're sort of showing it probably with you being as a mom that like there's probably some things to be moved around, some like scheduling, it feels kind of like it's a logistical thing. Like that if you can be like, okay, yes, this is happening, and I'm just going to find a way, and it's going to happen. It does feel like it's that you're ready and that you're trying to sort of line up the logistical pieces, the timing pieces of all of it. But it does feel like they are bringing it in with this, as this specific message. Is they're sort of like, okay, Tisha, like, we're ready for you, girl. Like, you say when. It does feel like a lot like that. Because I do feel like it does feel like something that's kind of almost kind of organically developed that I don't even know that maybe you set out, like, some people are like, they know from the time they're a kid, like they're going to have a business. Like, I kind of get the sense that this kind of like organically developed over time, just based on who was coming to you and what you were enjoying, that it kind of came together, but that it's sort of like ready to go to a new level, but they need you to say yes. So yes. So you were saying you love quiet time. It's gotten so slowed down. I hate making decisions. I'm afraid of making the wrong one. There's just too much happening and going on, and it just always felt like the wrong time. Okay, so it sounds like what I'm saying is making sense to you. So I am gonna pick the next 2 numbers. So I'm gonna go to how many numbers do we have now? I know we're up to 9.
We are up to 12 now.
Okay, cool. I want to do 6 and then 10. Who is that?
6 is Andrea, and 10 is Laura.
Is Laura. Okay, actually, so we'll do Andrea. So Andrea, if you can Show me where you're at. Oh, and then Laura in city. Okay. So I know that I have, who was at, somebody was at 6:45, I think, right? Did we pick
Yeah, I think she didn't answer. It was Lara, but I'm not really sure if she's here. If she is, we'll save her this spot.
Confirmed. Okay, cool. So, Andrea, are you here? Andrea? I'm going to do Laura, and then Andrea will do yours after.
Let's
So
go.
just check in with me, Andrea, so that we can find you. Laura. Oh, let me find a different one for Laura. I just like to put it up so people can know.
Andrea's here.
Andrea's here? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go, I'll go Laura and then Andrea.
Great.
Okay. Laura, this is for you. I didn't want it to be confusing. Okay. And then Laura is the 6:45. Okay. So I guess it's Laura, Lara, and then Andrea. Okay, Laura. So how to further open your abundance channels is what I'm seeing for you. Yeah, I kind of feel like you've hit a groove. I feel like you've hit a stride. The Page of Earth card is coming in, which is, Earth cards are very much tied to the money, to the manifestation. It is talking about good news with financial matters. Gotta love when we get cards like this when we're looking at money. Wanting to do something more challenging and a new area of study. Look at that. Oh, sorry, Solange, I forgot to put you down. I feel like I've known about some things that are shifting around for you. So what I'm seeing in terms, since we're looking about opening money channels, is they're talking about you following what your heart wants to do that actually does feel more challenging and engaging for you, because you always do have to be up leveling and having like new challenges, or else you lose interest. So just notice that in your pattern, and start to notice, even if you see like that there's kind of a certain point in which you start to kind of feel less engaged because it feels less challenging, because you're very smart, you're very just on top of things. And if you notice like, oh, it seems to be every after like a year, after 2 years, what I feel like I see for you is that you start having more, when you have more insight over those patterns, you're able to kind of evolve yourself and your business in a way that's sort of like, you know that it's coming. So before you kind of disengage, it's sort of like the thing that keeps the momentum going, because you just know that that's you. You just know that that's what you need to keep your heart, your mind, your expression really happy. And it does always have to have, I feel like with you, like something that can feel like you can self-express somehow. That's really important for you. So I'm going to leave it at that. And then I'm going to go to Lara, and then to Andrea. Okay. And then we'll see who's next after that. And by the way, you guys, I have different things. If you guys want to go deeper, I have either my Next Level Business Magic, which is 2 hours together, and it's like a deep reading around your business and coaching and support for 30 days as you put a plan that we create together in place. So that's really good for people that are feeling stuck, who are kind of figuring out what's next for them, what's evolving. And then I also do have a 3-question business reading. So if you have specific things that you want me to tune into for your business, that's something actually that I record, and you can watch it whenever you want. So just drop in the comments if you're wanting to do either of those. Those are 2 things that I have available for you guys right now. And we'll get you information. Okay, so Lara, what we're gonna look at for you is your money message, okay? Okay, so Archangel Metatron, the dreamer, it's like he's walking through a portal. So Metatron is very much sort of governing time and the way that we perceive time and our ability to have things happen like very, very quickly, just like that. And our perception of time is very different than the way that time actually is. Our time, I'm sure you're familiar, is a human concept. And so I do want you to know that the card's talking about a leap of faith, following your dreams and unexpected opportunities. So with this, I want you to pay attention as well to the 1010 portal, because I do feel like there's a feeling of stepping into something, of saying yes to something that feels a little bit risky and new. And am I ready for this? Like, am I actually saying yes to this? And so that's really what I'm seeing for you. And I think that if you, I can actually show you a video. There was a lady that did like a really in-depth reading talking about all the energies of this upcoming 1010 portal. And it was just really interesting. And I think that what I see is that you are very much in that influence. You are very much in that influence there. So it does feel like, though, that the reason that it does feel like a bit risky is almost like it's almost that you didn't really think that you were going to do this now, that you thought that this was going to be later, and it's been very much as like, oh, at some point. And that's, I think, the thing that feels kind of risky and new. Is there anything going on with your back right now, Laura? I start to feel something in particular, like in my kind of lower back when I was talking. It could just be my back, but let me see. Is it? They're saying that it's more, they're showing me a base for you to be flexible, that you need to be really flexible and kind of nimble right now with things, and to be sure that you don't kind of push things away, kind of like bat it away because it shows up in a different form than what you thought. Okay, so Andrea, hi. We're going to look at for you what other things might be affecting, if there's any energies, any influences around money, things that might be like outside of a business or career. Okay. And then we'll pull in some other people. Okay. Okay, so this is talking about a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune being on your side. They're saying the word relationship to me first and foremost. And so there's definitely a relationship here. I've been trying to be really good and just pull one. My sense is that it has to do with a romantic relationship, and it's sort of that there's been things going on that energy, I see it carrying over to how you're feeling in terms of sort of like business, money, career. I put my hand to my heart. I just noticed like my whole demeanor, and it's funny because when I came in and I'm sort of moving around, my sense about you, Andrea, is that you seem like such kind of like this kind of bouncy, kind of fun energy. And then they immediately like took me into this place of a more somber, kind of quiet, kind of drawn in kind of energy. And so they're showing me like that it's not like a usual thing, that this is not like how it usually is for you. And it seems like even for this relationship as well. So it does feel like they're wanting you to know that like, hey, like this is something that's important, that even though you might not be connecting, that it has to do with it. Like everything is interconnected energetically. So look there. I'll be curious to know if that makes sense to you as well. The other card that I pulled for you is, it says you are ready. You have the resources, the ability to manifest them. Almost wondering, have you been wanting to manifest something in regards to a relationship? I don't feel like I know you, but and I try to stay out of relationship territory. Yeah, so this is the second one. This is the first. So Archangel Michael does have a lot to do with purpose, stepping into purpose, but we're looking at specifically with these cards, anything that's outside of the business sort of money territory, but the energy of it could be having an impact. And so, yeah, they're really pointing towards a relationship, towards a matter of the heart that is that's just really kind of shifting you. It just feels like they showed me like how you usually are and then where you are with this specific situation. And so just look to that. It does feel like it's important. Okay. Okay, so let's do 8.
8 is Alan.
11.
11 is Ricardo, but I'm not really sure if they are here because I haven't heard from them.
You said Alan and Ricardo?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So Alan, Ricardo, if you are here, if not, we'll call somebody else's number. Who is here and ready?
Jacqueline, then we have number 9, which is Jacqueline.
We'll see. Whoever's here and ready, we're going to try to squeeze in a couple more. So just be like, I'm here, and I'll pull you in. Because I know that there's multiple people watching. So Ricardo, Jacqueline's ready. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, so sources of income is the one that I'm going to pull for you. Hi, Jacqueline. Okay. They're showing me a distraction, like a temporary distraction is the words that are coming with it. So this ego card is talking about this false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thinking. So it feels like there's something that went on that your mind got a little bit distracted by. Like they're showing me that you were very protected in terms of, it feels like this like kind of purpose mission in general. Like it sort of just feels like it's kind of surrounding you, that like when you are in a place where you're expressing purpose, like you are very protected. And so whatever has been distracting you, they're showing me that it needs to be addressed and kind of cleared away so that you can just get back to feeling good, to feeling like you're ready to move forward, because it doesn't actually feel like there's it feels like it's just kind of coming down to a time thing. Like I don't even think it seems like something that you don't know how to handle. It just feels like there's so much going on that when you just kind of take the time and you're just like, okay, I'm just going to address this, I'm just going to clear this out, then it does feel like you're able to step back into that place of yeah, just not having that. It feels like kind of like a mental clutter that can be cleared away. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm perceiving here. I noticed that there's sort of like money coming from his bag here, his like bag of gold. And so I'm connecting that there might be some like missed opportunities in terms of money. Like it does really feel like it's coming down to a time thing with that one specifically. But I do feel like with like a bit of creativity that you're able to kind of scoop up, and they're using the word retain specifically, retain more of this money. So whatever you might use that word for, that's what they're using it for. But overall, it feels like in terms of kind of like the source and the flow, everything that they're showing me is pointing towards like, yeah, like we can improve here. And like, yeah, there's this distraction and we'll just clear that out. So it all feels very positive. It feels very much like the energy of like kind of fine tuning something and being at the place where, great, now we can just like pick up momentum because we're in a great place. That's what I'm feeling for you. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. And I'm just going to go with whoever kind of raises their hand and I see first. It hasn't gone yet. Just so we can get you in there quickly. And if anyone wants information after about doing a longer recorded reading, thanks, Jacqueline. Just put reading in the comments and I can send you details about either the reading or the longer session. Oh, my iPad died. Okay, so last call for this evening. Last call. We'll do one more person, or we'll just call it complete for the night. Okay, we're going to call it complete then. So I'll be here next week. I will be here every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Pacific. And if you guys want to join my group, which is How to Make Money Being Magical, then you could search for it. Solange will drop the link in the comments for you. And basically, we can give you a little bit of a heads up about these readings. You'll know when these are happening. You can reserve your spot if you want to really make sure that you like have your reading and you show up and you get it at a certain time. So join us in there. I have a lot of content. I create a lot of things, a lot of videos and challenges are all geared towards the spiritual business owner. So yes, I'll see you guys in there. Have a good night. Bye, everybody.